So again, as I was saying before, another one of my favourite games, Little Devil. Awesome game, absolutely awesome game. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. You play as a devil. Has to go through different walkways. You through like a kind of a maze kind of thing. Going through different doors, killing enemies, solving puzzles, obtaining items to progress further. There's quite a few worlds. I think I've got to world 3, and that's quite tricky. So there you go. And the other thing as well is that inside you actually get. I've never used it. And I won't ever use it, but because when you're going round, because basically you're in a narrow set of passageways, and it's so easy to get lost because you can't see behind you. You can only see in front of you. And if you do come to go backwards towards you, you can't. He doesn't go around so you can see front again. He comes towards you so you can see him walking towards you. So if there are holes in the floor and you're coming backwards, you're not going to know they're there because you can't see them. You're going to fall down. So it's really easy to not only just sort of die, but also get lost. So what they did was actually released a blank kind of map thing. You could actually draw on the routes you're taking so you don't get lost. But I still probably get lost even with using that to, do my own maps. You do have a little square in the top left-hand corner where it does show you where you're going-ish, but you still get completely lost. And I always forget, because all the doors that you go into are exactly the same, you always find yourself going, when you revisit doors, is this the one I want? You sort of go to yourself, I want the spider level. You find a door and you go, is that the spider level? Is that the shop? Or is that the stepping stone level? And you just don't know because they're not labelled. Like all the doors are exactly the same, and they're just blank. So unless you've got like a proper good memory, you're going to completely just confuse yourself. But other than that, it's an amazing game, Little Devil. Oh, where are we? Cool. Next one, Mega Maze. Just basically a strategy game. You basically got a ball on a grid, on a board, and you have to basically get it from one end to the other without smashing it and avoiding any obstacles that are in your way. There's 165 mazes, so good luck with that one. I probably did the first 10 and then got really frustrated with it. But it says here, manoeuvre the ball to its destination, avoiding laser pulses, spark generators, minefields, and pits of doom. They really hype this game. All it is just a maze. You've got a ball, and you have to get it from one side to the other of avoiding obstacles. But no, Philips have to kind of hype it up and say, you've got minefields, pits of doom that devour your ball. No, they don't. They just smash it to pieces. Alright, don't go overboard. And it says, earn the highly coveted rank of Maze Master. Be aware, this game is highly addictive and will provide you hours upon hours of puzzling, problem solving maze mania. No, it's just going to be quite a fun game to play. Anyway, basically, you get my point. They basically hyped it up massively. So, anyway, there you go. Mega Maze, and that's just kind of a little leaflet thing for Philips at the time. And you've got, like, Philips CDI on the back, which is pretty cool. Nearly there. Nearly there. Ugh. Right, Micro Machines. This isn't the full game, however. It's a very, very rare demo disc. I wouldn't necessarily go as far as to say it's promo and it's not for resale because it was sold as part of a magazine, but it's still very rare. I've never seen it ever on eBay, ever. I've seen like the full game, but never this demo. So if you look, it just basically says exclusive offer for CDI readers at Comet, which obviously is now unfortunately gone into administration. Free CD, buy Micro Machines from Comet and get a free CD featuring hits from Level 42, Tears of Fears and The Jam, 1995. So all it is 2 levels. It's hits from Level 42. But it's kind of 2 different levels in a way within that level 42, if that makes sense. I'm guessing anyway. So you get to play as sports cars on one level, and then there's kind of buggies in another level, and then you've got a time trial. There's also a third mode you can do on there as well, which is quite tricky, but I've managed to actually do it, which is good. And then if you open it up, then you've got obviously the disc in. Oh god, won't open. Oh, there you go. Don't want to break it. Micro Machines. There you go. So considering it's a demo disc, it's quite nice to have a full sort of picture on there and stuff. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I think this is really rare, if I remember rightly. It says here, offer valid until the 31st of October 1995 and exclusive to Comet. So, yeah. if anyone's seen this before and wants to shed some light on if it is actually quite common, but I think it's quite rare. So let me know if you've got any information or if you've seen that elsewhere on your travels. Oh, we're nearly there. Nearly there. Right. This is a music sampler. So it's a video CD, but it's not a film. It's basically a load of different music videos all on the one disc. However, it's only a sampler. You know how stingy Philips are, well, were with the CDI. You only get to see like, I'd say maximum of a minute of each music video, then it fades and stops. So it's like you've almost been shortchanged. But basically they've got all the music videos that are on there on the back. So things like ABBA, Dancing Queen, Elton John's Pinball Wizard, Pink Floyd's Another Brick in the Wall, which is awesome. Sting's If I Ever Lose My Faith, and there's also got Tina Turner's What's Love Got to Do with It. But you only see like a quarter of the video. It's just, so annoying. Why they couldn't have like shown the whole thing? Next one of my favourite games again, a game called Mutant Rampage. Again, I've got the soundtrack on my iTunes. God, my back's itching. Not that you really wanted to know that. Mutant Rampage, basically a fighting game, similar to, so it's side-scrolling, so it's similar to games like Final Fight, games like, what's the other one? Street Fighter. But it's got quite a lot of blood and gore in it. This is a bit over the top, to be honest. It's 15s and up anyway. But yeah, quite a lot of gore in this one, and there's a lot of like mutants and lots of sharp weapons, proper like big stuff, if you know what I mean, and chains and stuff. So it does go a little bit overboard, but it's really good. There's a host on there, it's quite funny, and a lot of the mutants sort of go off on one and go sort of really aggressive and stuff to the camera, which is quite funny. But that's Mutant Rampage Body Slam. But it's actually one of my favourite games. Really, really like it. It's a great fighting game for the CDI. So there you go. Next one, which again we'll have a look at with my niece when she's old enough. There's actually a mathematics game on there as well, Sticky Bear Maths, which again is really fun. Even I can't answer some of the questions on here because it goes from like preschool right up to like adult level. It really does. Like if you go to the highest level on here, it goes stupid. It's like, I don't know, like something like, what would you have as one? Like 34 times 13, and you've got to know that like straight away, and you'll be like, oh, what was a calculator? So it goes a little bit overboard, but it's also got the easier stuff as well, like 2 + 1, like up there and stuff. And then that bottom screen is like a little mini game you can play as well, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's just a maths game really, with pictures and stuff to make it more fun and stuff. So it's cool. Last two. Right. Awesome game, The Seventh Guest. You can get it on the PC. And there was also a follow-up to that on the PC. I think it was called The 11th Hour. It was like the sequel, if I remember rightly. But again, it makes full use of digital video using the cartridge. So again, you've got real people. It's not graphics and stuff like on the Xbox. It's proper real people that have acted in it like a film. And again, you see them. There's like ghosts that come out of the wall, and it's kind of realistic for its time. It's pretty cool. Other than that, you can see that things have been proper like digitally done and stuff, and you get like a hand that presses through the wall and it moves and stuff, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's a great game. Have you ever heard of a game on the PC called Shivers, which again I'm in love with? It's my favourite PC game, always will be, where you're stuck in a museum and you have to find your way out and you have to solve riddles. Similar to that if you've played it. I know I'm digressing, but Shivers basically looks like this. And in fact, if any of you have played this, would you comment underneath? Because it would be great to find some other people that have played it. This looks like that. It's a PC game. You get stuck in a museum. You get locked in by your friends as a joke, and they leave you there for the entire night. You go into the museum and you get locked in. You get stuck. You have to find your way out. And they've also since done a sequel, which isn't as good in my opinion, but it's still cool. Shivers 2. Again, I know I'm digressing because this isn't a PC collection, but it's got 2 discs as well. The second one's a music disc. If any of you have played those, let me know, because it'd be great to have a conversation about what you think of them, because I love them. But seventh guess, going back again. First disc is the game. Second disc is the music, which again is great. And we've come to the last game. Last game is a film. Exciting. The Wind in the Willows. Classic story. All about Toad. And you've got Rat as well. Badger. And they go on different adventures and stuff. You can rewind and fast forward it as well, which is pretty cool, I suppose. I have watched it years and years ago. It was alright. Nothing exciting. But there you go, Wind in the Willows. And that wraps up all my games. Oh, I think I have to have like 4 or 5 videos, I think this would have been. Oh, mental. My collection is massive, as you would have seen. It's just, I'm so proud of it though, having said that. You know, it's a console that no one really cares about, ever really knew about, really. And to have a collection that big for a console that's not well known and people just don't collect for, I feel really privileged, really, to be able to show that off to people. Right, so last little thing before we end the video, because it's way too long, is I've also got the box still with the gamepad. I've actually got 2 gamepads, but I've also kept the box for it, which is really nice because it's not always easy to keep boxes because they either get thrown away or, you know, it's just nice to be able to show off like an old box. There's the top screenshot here. Here is Burn Cycle, and the one underneath here is Little Devil. So 2 of my best games on the gamepad box, so that's good. And then I've got a leaflet that I've saved to do with Philips CDI. Another one about activating your CDI player. Another one about important information about the CDI full 1-year guarantee, which, do you think that would have expired by now? I don't know, debatable. The manual itself for the actual video cartridge, not the console, the video cartridge. And I've also got a bit like I did show you in the case to that, quite similar, but I've also got another separate CDI, like kind of mini magazine, if you like, which again has got, when you look in there, loads of different CDI games and what they were worth. And actually, this is in pounds rather than dollars, so that's good. And you know what I said about films? You can get Star Trek, the films for the CDI. But yeah, it's just got loads and loads of different. You've got Burn Cycle and Cluedo, Caesar's World of Gambling. And then finally, very last thing, here's the joypad for the CDI that I always use. It's actually really comfortable. You've got 3 buttons and a D-pad. A D-pad. So that's really good. And this is the other controller you can get for the CDI. This is quite a standard one you can get as well. It looks like this, which some of you may have seen before. It's so fiddly. This top bit here is actually broken off, but I was able to luckily slide it back in again, but it has come off in the past. And basically you just kind of spin it around. You've got your buttons here as well, action buttons and stuff, and then you've got your play and your pause and your volume buttons down here for playing CDs, because you can play CDs on the CDI as well. But I hate that controller. I've hardly ever used it. It just sits in the drawer. Don't touch it. What I do use is this one. I've got 2 joypads, just so I've got a spare, but there's not 2 ports in the CDI. So if we're playing a 2-player game, we just share the controller. Like Connect 4, someone takes a go with this controller, and you just pass the controller to the next person you're playing with, and they use it to take their turn. So there you go. Right, it's been one of the longest collection videos I've ever done. Thank you very, very much for being so patient with the whole series. I know it's been quite a few parts to look through. This is dedicated to my good friend Shock16, who actually asked me to get my Philips CDI collection up ASAP, which I have done. Thank you so much to him, and I will see you guys very soon for another collection video. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you've liked the CDI collection. Any questions, any comments, feel free to leave below, and I'll talk to some of you guys very, very soon.